All right, welcome to episode 17. This is our Skagit Speedway, our trifecta of the weekend. 410s were back in town. The Sportsman Sprints were alive and well, and the Northwest Focus Midgets were running hard at Skagit on Saturday.
They were. And this coming week is the 360s, the Modifieds, and the Hornets.
Yes. We're getting down to the end of the season coming up. Very close. How many races are left, do you know? 3?
4?
4? We will not be back at Skagit until officially until after High Limit.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, if you're a High Limit driver, please reach out to us. We would love to interview any one of you that come through. Rico, full hat, Apple, yeah. I mean, we could talk about Naples, Italy, and the hot sandwich thing again, too, but you seem to get tired of that pretty quick. So, yeah, anyway, Modifieds, it's going to be kind of fun. One thing we did is it was the first time with the pit rocket at Skagit.
Mm-hmm.
The pits in Skagit are long.
They are long.
There's a lot of freaking cars that you can shove into that area. So I ended up doing a Meta Glasses kind of tour, kind of up and down, showing the pits. I do apologize. My hat is kind of dangling in the way of some of that. So when you do see this Meta Glasses, my Meta Glasses have been the subject of some shit there, hasn't it?
Yes.
When you see the Meta Glass tour, you see my bill of my hat's kind of protruding. I apologize, but it kind of gives you the idea of the scope of Skagit Speedway. It is quite large. So we're going to do the Meta Glass, and then when we come out, we're going to talk a little bit about the Northwest Focus Midgets and the Summer Challenge, the Ray Stebins tribute race, I think.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right, so we're doing a quick little pit tour. So we're down on this end of the track. We got Justin Youngquist, Trey Starks, and then we're gonna turn it around and take you back the other way. So you get this idea of the size of Skagit Speedway. You see all the rows and rows and rows of sprint cars. Tonight is racing the 410s. We are racing the Sportsman Sprints. We are racing the Northwest Focus Midgets tonight. The car count looks really good. So there's Robbie Price, Colton Heath. We got Kyle Hansen's new Sportsman Sprint. Will be on the track for the first time tonight. Yeah. It's nice to see the Brownfields car back out. We saw him at the 360 show, the Fred Brownfield 360 Nationals. It's nice to see it back. Yeah. It is an overcast day. But it makes the tent very pleasant. But this is what we're doing. And now let's go back and drink my coffee. And the pit rocket is working really, really well right now.
All right, so that was the meta glasses of the pits. Kind of get the idea of the scale. That was kind of the point of the meta glasses. So if anybody goes, I couldn't see that car well enough, that wasn't the point. It was to show you how big the pits were.
Yeah.
So when we were taking photos of cars, we came across the Northwest Focus midget car of Ray Stebins, right? Mm-hmm. And I had no idea what was happening. There was guitars around it. There was a hat on top of it. We had no idea what that was about. And so there was a little talk about it when the Northwest Focus midgets hit the track, right?
Yes.
But nobody really got into it. So we decided to deep dive into who was Ray Stebins and what was this race all about. So we're going to talk a little bit about it right now. So they call it the Summer Challenge Ray Stebins Tribute Race. So in 2024 is when the tribute race first started, right?
That is when he passed.
When he passed. So
I don't know how long.
Okay.
If this has been the first year.
So what would you put this down? Is this what was on their thing?
This is what was on their Facebook.
According to the Northwest
Yes.
Focus Midget Facebook page. Mm-hmm. So Ray Stebins was a man who epitomized the spirit of our series. Sadly, Ray was taken from us in an act of violence, something those who knew and loved him still struggle to understand. But when we think of Ray, we remember how much more than we remember much more. Hold on a second. We remember so much more than how we lost him. Now, to understand, now this is separate. Mm-hmm. So he was a victim of gun violence at a dealership that he owned.
At a business that he owned.
Yeah, that business that he owned was shot, right? Mm-hmm. Which is shocking and god awful. Mm-hmm. But you shared with me, so the guy who, what are you looking at me like that? You're the one that shared this information with me, so don't look surprised.
Yeah.
You told it to me.
No, I know.
So he was shot by a guy who had a dog, right? Explain that part of it exactly, how you read it.
So from the news station, I don't know if it's King 5 or Channel 7, there was, in that news clip, it talked about there was a dog that was hit on the road.
Right.
And it was taken to animal control, picked it up. And when they went to, they figured out it was their dog. I don't know if it was chipped or if they called looking for it. But the person that was charged and arrested for the act of violence went to claim his dog, and that's how
they caught him.
They caught him.
It's so stupid. So it says, but when we think of Ray, we remember so much more than how we lost him. We remember his smile. No matter how his race went, Ray was thankful simply for the opportunity to be there and to be part of it. He brought smiles and laughter wherever he went, and if you were lucky, maybe even a little guitar music along the way. Ray understood something that can sometimes get lost in the competition. Being at the racetrack, surrounded by people who share the same passion, is something pretty special. That is the spirit behind this tribute race. Now, I think this year, and I've not been intimately involved in racing before. This is our first year. But good Lord, the amount of great people that have passed and have been taken from us it makes you sick to your stomach. Because once again, Ray was a member of the racing community that everybody loved. He was all about others. Yeah. And some asshole, and I'll say this because it's a Skagit Speedway episode, some asshole ended up taking his life. It makes me sick to my stomach. Yeah. And, with Jason Maddox earlier this year, it's disgusting. And it sucks that the good people have to die and the assholes still live. So
100%.
all right. So that was the kind of the tribute race for Ray. Midget final.
I will have to say that this was the boringest night of racing across the board at Skagit Speedway.
Yeah. Stacy at fromthestands@gmail.com for all the complaints of that.
The boringest night.
Yeah.
You know, if it's, you go to the track and you're watching as a fan, you want to see really good battles. You want to see a wreck. You want to see a spin out. You want to see maybe a fight on the front stretch. You know, you want to see a foot race or whatever the hell it is going on. It needs some entertainment value.
So let me ask you. You mentioned the foot race. So do you see the value of a foot race?
No, I don't.
So you would rather have seen, let's just put it, you would rather have seen Jonathan, Alex, and Shane huffing it on the front stretch rather than the Northwest Focus midgets ripping around the speedway?
If that's how they're going to do their pole shuffle, at least it's something.
Okay.
Okay. There was nothing to hardly report back to our podcast on. I
But
have
there
a list of placings.
Okay, let's do them.
Okay. So
Midgets.
Shane Smith, first place.
He is the reigning track champion for the Northwest Focus midgets. Is he in the lead for this one?
I haven't looked at their points.
Okay.
Alex Peck.
Yes.
Second
Jonathan
place.
Jorgensen.
Yep.
Yes.
That was the
Jonathan
Focus.
Jorgensen, his car, like it's a workhorse car. When you see it, oof, good Lord.
There's some cool color cars and
Oh,
some
yeah,
cool
absolutely.
paint schemes, and you know, seeing the cars in the pits a little more up close, you
Yeah.
really appreciate that kind of stuff to
Yeah.
it. But that was the midget
But
race.
we see the Northwest Focus midgets a lot at Deming. So at Skagit, they're kind of treated to it. It's a kind of, oh yeah, we're familiar with them up and down.
I think they all just kind of stayed to themselves. Like
Yes.
it wasn't exciting.
I think the one that pulled at our heartstrings was the Sportsman Sprints,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Kyle Hansen just got his sporty, got the number 17 out there. Looks great. A rattle can, by the way.
Yes.
They painted that with a rattle can.
They put it together this week.
Yeah, it was a frame and 50 tubs of sprint car parts, and they got it together. Anybody knows, Kyle Hansen's part of the Hansen Racing family, do a lot of great work with the quarter midgets,
Yeah.
Deming, and of course now Skagit Speedway. The Sporties, I'm liking them. I've never really, I remember, I think Chad was a Sportsman Sprint driver when he was first introduced, like when they first became a thing. I wasn't a fan, but I'm kind of liking them.
There was a little bit more of a battle
Kind of liking them.
within the sportsmen's of the night. That was probably the best race.
Sportsman Sprints, yeah. We also had an interview. I had it broke from reality, apparently. But I replayed it in my head.
Yeah.
So I remember, because we interviewed Cole, drives the 76R.
Yep.
So I've had conversations multiple with his dad.
Yeah.
And when we were there with Adam, his dad made the comment to him, hey,
they were
you should-
pitted next to each
correct. You should do the interview.
Yeah.
And he kind of went, I don't think he remembered that at all.
Yeah. And then
Because he was like, I don't know you.
I never went back through my TikTok messages, but and I knew that he was, in my opinion, what I knew about Cole is he was the youngest driver at Skagit Speedway.
15.
Speedway right
Just
now.
turned 15.
And he started his season late because of that.
Yes.
You can't drive at Skagit until you turn 15.
Oh, I didn't know that. Is that the rule?
That's what he made it sound like
Oh,
in the interview.
okay.
And so, at least with the sporties. And so then I remember somebody messaged on TikTok, and I was thinking it was him. Like, they're like, oh, you need to interview the youngest driver at Skagit Speedway.
So, I mean, it was like
So-
a break from reality kind of situation.
Somehow we got it done, and it might not have been completely planned, but
But it was a great interview.
yeah.
I wasn't expecting it to be a very good interview. He kind of struck me as the kind of driver that cares more about what's happening on the track and really could give a rip about what's the interview part of this thing. And I was pleasantly surprised that, I mean, he's a great interview. I think going forward, anybody who's going to put a microphone in front of him is going to get some very thoughtful
Very thoughtful.
answers. And I love that part. He is as engaging as I've interviewed a few of these Skagit Speedway drivers. He is one of the more engaging, you know, almost as engaging as Adam, but I'm buddies with Adam, right? Yeah, Cole was an awesome interview.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and play Cole's interview, and then we're going to recap the Sportsman Sprint kind of main, right?
Yep.
Qualifying main, and then we'll get into the 410 results.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
All right, so we are at Skagit Speedway. Tonight is the 410 Sportsmen and Modifieds, right? Midgets. Sorry, Modifieds. That was my hope of the day. But I have with me Cole. Cole, why don't you introduce your car, like your car number, what division you run in, and let's tell everybody at home like how long you've been racing.
Yeah, so my name is Cole Buttonshone. I drive the 76R here at Skagit Speedway. I'm in the sportsman class, and I started racing here at a quarter midget track around the corner on the property when I was 8 years old. So this will be, 7 or 8 years.
So you're 15.
Correct.
Right? I know that's like crazy to think about.
Yeah.
You're driving a race car before you can drive a car legally on the street.
Yeah.
Is that have you gotten used to that concept now, or is it still kind of...
Honestly, I've literally just grown up at this track,
Sure.
so I don't think it's pretty normal to me.
Sure.
But I do understand that that's kind of an out there concept. I know a lot of people really get surprised at that.
So in all of your coming ups with all the divisions you've raced in, what is your favorite car to race in?
I would probably have to say the big sprint cars, but I
Okay.
had a lot of fun in the micro sprints at Denton
Sure.
Speedway.
And some success,
Yeah.
as I understand
Yeah.
it. So, yeah. So let me ask you, what, like 15, you still have huge things ahead of you. What is the end goal for you as a race car driver?
My current end goal and the whole race team's current end goal is a 360 West Coast tour
Oh, nice. I love this.
in the coming years.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, and I ask this question a lot of people. So if you had any class to run in, anywhere in the world, could be Formula One, could be NASCAR, could be high limit, whatever, what would be your like dream class to run for racing?
Honestly, and I get a lot of people probably have this too, but I'd like to run a 410 somewhere, Knoxville, Saratoga.
I love that. Yeah. Which, I mean, think about it with your career and how it's progressing. That isn't too far.
Yeah.
Could be in the distance, right?
Sure
I love
could be,
that
and
part.
I'm really excited.
Yeah,
Something like that.
So you're a sportsman. How many years have you been running it? Is this...
So this will be one full year because I ran half of last year
Okay.
and every race this year because I wasn't old enough until
Sure.
halfway through the season.
So what was the biggest challenge to overcome when you got into it, especially from micros to getting into the sporty? What's been the biggest challenge?
You know, it's definitely a lot more physically strenuous. Mentally, it's actually a lot easier.
Oh, really? Wow.
Than those littler cars. You got more
Okay.
time to think.
Sure.
Time to kind of plan out what you're gonna do.
Is
a
it
little easier?
Is it a big change in the style of driving? I mean, because I would imagine, I've never raced a car, but a micro sprint, just the mechanics of you operating the car has got to be vastly different between the two.
So you would think, but it's not that different. It's
Okay.
definitely a different experience.
Sure.
You're sitting different in the car compared to a micro sprint, whereas you're sitting straight up and down like in a chair. and it's almost like you're laying down in a micro sprint. So I had to adjust to
okay.
how the track felt sitting in a different position because it was so burned into my memory.
Sure.
That this feels this way and the car does this, because my whole body basically took up the car. So that's probably been the most challenging thing so far.
Okay. Growing up, obviously racing's been in your life for a long time,
Yes.
and I know with your dad it's a huge thing. Outside of maybe your dad, do you have a racing idol, somebody that you looked up to?
A racing idol.
Yeah, like a driver you love to follow, that kind of thing?
I really love Tanner Holmes. Good.
popular.
Came out of Outlaw
Oh,
Karts,
yeah.
blew up real fast.
Yeah.
I think he puts out a lot of good social media content.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Good driver.
He's my first diecast I ever bought was
Yeah.
his car this last year. So, so obviously you're the Sporty this year, full year, right?
Yes.
We still have a little bit to go. Are you planning on returning with this car next year?
So we're kind of in between because next year at this track they're going to go to the 305
Oh,
engines.
yeah.
So we're planning to have a 305 and a 360 by next year.
Okay, awesome.
And
Love
I'll probably be in the 305 until we all feel like it's time to move
Graduate
up
up.
to 360.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, at least you have a pathway, and I love that part.
Right, yeah.
Now, in all of your racing that you've had in your life, like you said, starting when you were like 8 years old.
Yeah.
When you close your eyes and you think, what brings a smile to your face? What is one racing memory that you love to think about? Makes
One
you feel
racing
good.
memory.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't got a whole lot of wins under my belt, other than this quarter midget stint. But I really like. There's a couple races from Deming that I usually reminisce on. It's me and a couple other cars just having some really good, intriguing, like actual racing, just
Like
back and forth
battles,
battling,
yeah.
just really cool racing.
No, I love that.
So I really like to look back on that and just say, wow, that was just a good time.
Have you ever had a fan experience that you can recall that you really loved? You know, something where a fan signing an autograph, or maybe you're working on a crew with somebody that had a great experience. Is there a fan experience you can recall for us?
Yeah, just recently, last week here at Skagit Speedway, the fan bus that comes down from the stands in the pits in the middle for qualifying.
Yeah.
The lady Carla, who usually drives it, said, "Hey, Cole, come here. We got some fans of yours."
Yeah.
And I walked onto that bus, and it's got like 15 people who I don't know. Got a whole little fan club just cheering me on, and I think that's really cool.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
I love that. So outside, and I know, and this is going to be kind of a weird question, but I ask this of every driver. So when you're not racing, what do you like to do to kind of relax and bring peace to your mind? What is something you like to do?
Well, I'm getting more into welding now, and I plan to do that as a career. But I'm a musician.
Okay. What do you play?
I'm a jazz trombonist.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. How long you been doing that?
3 or 4 years.
Okay. That's a good thing to kind of quiet the soul, right?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what is the expectations tonight? I know big race, all kinds of stuff happening. What are you hoping to happens right out the gate for you tonight to kind of do well?
Honestly, I'm hoping for a good pill, get qualified out early, have a good heat race, and just my goal is just to finish the A main tonight.
Sure. Awesome. Well, Cole, I really appreciate it. So
Yeah, of course.
there you go. That's Cole, and you're driving the
76R.
76R in the Sportsman Sprint Division. You're going to want to follow this car as it goes through.
I'm going to get done by 11. That's my goal.
You have your other stuff too, though.
What other stuff?
Your SSRs.
Oh, shit, yeah. Okay, so maybe 11:15. Sorry.
Okay, we are back. That was the interview with Cole. Unfortunately, he had car problems.
He didn't finish out the night.
He did not finish the night. He had the car. I think he was having a little bit of problems earlier in the night.
There was a lot of
too.
we had to fire it off and do the thing. Stacy wanted, give you credit. You wanted to interview him at the end, and I said
just
no.
at least wanted to talk to him to see what happened. So
And I put a nix on it because I'm ultra sensitive to the drivers that have a hard time, because sometimes they're not in the mindset to talk. I don't know if he was that way, but I'm kind of ultra sensitive to that. So please tell me everything's working.
Yeah.
Okay. Macy, so wins last week, correct?
Yes.
And then comes back this week driving the Sportsman with fast time, 12.2, 12.263.
Yep.
And what did you buy? How come you're not wearing
I
it?
bought a Macy t-shirt.
Are you ever going to wear it?
Yeah.
Is that the next? Is she the Maddie version at Skagit for you?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know yet.
Okay. By the way, Robbie Price's driving suit, his race suit,
Yes.
was Robbie, right?
Had to be.
With the highlighter yellow. Oh, it looks so good. Okay. So why don't you go through the sporty main event?
32R, Ryan Orchard,
Yes.
was first place. Jalen Serrano definitely gave him a run for his money.
Yes.
She tried so hard to catch up to him. She made some progress.
Yes.
I was rooting for her the whole time to make it up there. I think this is her third podium in 3 weeks for her.
Oh, is it? Okay. I mean, I think so, yeah. Come to think of it, yeah.
And then Levi was running some double duties. He had a Sportsman and a 410.
Not only running double duties, but podiums in both classes.
Yeah, and to the point we had to wait for him to get the podium done. As soon as that was done, he was third in the Sportsman's. He had to get his car off the track, get in his other car.
Have we interviewed him yet?
We have not.
Okay. Are we going to at some point? Probably not.
If I can get through, drivers have very blocked messages on their social media.
Okay. Well, then since we did a prelim into the 410s, fast time,
Trey was back.
the man in black, Trey Starks. Trey's back. Congratulations to his wife and him. He's back from off time for them having their baby, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Making sure I got that correct because,
Yes.
people are great about telling me when I'm wrong with stuff. So just want to make sure that out there. And, of course, Trey dominated the main event.
Led all 30 laps.
He is going to walk away with repeating as 410 champion. I don't think he's in the lead for 360s right now, but he is the reigning 410 and 360
I
champion.
think he actually still is.
In the lead.
Yeah, I'll look.
Oh, it'd be amazing if it was. All right, so that is going to round out minus Stacy telling me who's in the lead for the 360s, but I'm pretty sure he's commandingly in the lead of the 410s.
As of the 15th, so this hasn't been updated from this weekend. There's a 24-point gap between him and Colton.
Colton Heath, so Trey's in the lead. So he is on his way to repeating, but only a 24-point lead between him and Colton for the 360 kingship.
Without this weekend.
Without the results of this weekend. Well, Trey would have done. I mean, Colton didn't. Did they run the 360s anywhere? Did they go to Grace Harbor? I don't know.
No, they were both there. They were running 410s. So I guess that would be current.
I know, but we're talking about 360s, right?
Yeah. They weren't running 360s.
Unless they ran somewhere else and Trey didn't run them.
But those are the points through Skagit, so.
Okay. Well, but wait a minute. The Summer Challenge Series, they swap between Skagit and...
But these are the points for Skagit. Not the
So what was Cam Smith and Colton and what were they running for at Grace Harbor?
That was through the Challenge Tour, but that's a whole different points deal.
Okay. So, yeah. So he is on his way to repeating as track champion in 410 and 360s. So our trackside chat last week was a question, why is Kyle Larson so polarizing? Slammed my hand on the table, was a little pissy about it, because we've done Trackside chat questions a couple times and crickets.
We got 2 replies.
We got some right. We got some. This is the first time I'm seeing this one.
So the first one is from Team C3 Motorsports.
Yes.
It says, being a low budget team, you can't hate. You have to get better and grind. It's possible and attainable. I know one day I'll have a stacker and a motorhome with the best equipment, but it won't happen overnight. The things I tell myself every time is, it sucks to suck. I know it's tough, but it takes work.
I love
Kyle
that.
Larson has absolutely worked his butt off to be in the position he is in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the fact that another team chimed in and had that response rather than, I just hate because he's winning. Like, I love that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Corey B had a different kind of take on the whole thing. And it says, if you hate him, you're an idiot. There isn't any other driver on any circuit who has given more back to sprint car racing than Kyle. Same for Brad. And I completely 1,000,000% agree with that. Wow, you shot back like something happened.
No.
You know, Kyle and Brad started the High Limit Series. They put money behind it to get it going. Kyle Larson, he is a little red ass from time to time, but he is at the top of his game in the sprint car world right now, and he is close to the top in the NASCAR world. And yeah, he wins, but you can't hate because he's doing the deed, and he came back from 0. He completely screwed his career early and had to come back from that. He had to come back from being canceled. That is a feat that is not easy to do. So, yeah.
And I think the thing is about all this is we've seen it in all levels right now, lately. The passion that these drivers have.
Yeah.
And you can call it a temper, you can call it red ass, you can call it passion, whatever it is.
I like red ass much better.
I know you do, but
That was from my baseball days.
you know, you're going to have drivers that show their passion in all sorts of ways.
Yeah.
And it is what it is.
Yeah. You know, football is different than racing. Like, people hated Tom Brady because he won every Super Bowl that he was in. Like, you know, that's a thing. But Kyle Larson's a different type of athlete. You know, he's at the top because he had to work his way to get there. And you can't really hate that, right? Especially where he screwed it up for himself and came back from it to prove. So he did it once and then had to do it another time to get where he is now.
Yeah.
Nobody does that twice.
Yeah.
You're special if you can do it twice. You're special if you can do it once. He did it once, screwed it up for himself, and came back and did it again and got better, I think. So, yeah.
Okay, so working into a new avenue.
I want to
for-
shout out Austin and Tawny, though. Got married. The Kerrigans, congratulations. Love you guys. Austin, thank you much. Everything you've done, interviews with us and everything. You guys are awesome. So, yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
So the new series that we kind of the new path that we are kind of going on.
Partnering with my buddy Nick. We're going to be at Skagit River Raceway on Sunday, September
4th,
Yeah.
Fifth? 6th, I don't know.
We're going to be there on
Labor Day weekend.
We're going to be there September. Part of the NORA. So one thing that I have not had a chance to experience yet is RC racing here in the local community. But there is a huge dirt track racing community within the RC world. And there's a lot of crossover between RC and how it was put to me, the big cars and the little cars.
Okay.
I think to cover RC is an untapped thing. They race a lot in the wintertime. It gives us I get a chance to work on the show with still racing through the winter. I'm excited for this opportunity. You know, there is a lot of people that put as much passion, effort, energy, maybe not quite as much money, but still a ton of money behind RC racing, sprint cars, modifieds, the whole thing. But the wing sprint car RC community, as I understand it, is competitive as get out, all get out. So we will be at the Eric Zimmerman Memorial Race, which will be that Sunday, September. So, you know, RC racing allows for the racing fan to engage as a race driver with far less money involved. I mean, we saw today Chris Bullock is selling his 360. Yeah.
360.
360.
The Nationals.
With trailer and mule.
Yes.
For almost $100,000.
Yep. It's on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
If you're looking to
if
get
you're
a
looking
rig.
to buy a 360, you can go there. But when you look at RC racing, even if you're the top, you're not spending $100,000 because you'd be racing the big dollar stuff, right? But there are people that are just as serious and have just as much, you know, car tweaks and the whole nine. And they're giving us access, a tremendous amount of access to cover their sport. And I'm happy to do it. I'm excited to do it.
It's exciting that somebody actually wants us to market for them.
Yeah, to, you know, hey, surprising, right?
Yeah.
We have lots of tracks that are behind that, you know, yeah. But so on the slate to be interviewing, we have Kevin Christensen, who is the program director and has been racing for 30 plus years. You have Bob Marshall, who is the race director, also the announcer. So he is the Caleb Hart of the RC racing world. It is Creekside Speedway in Stanwood, by the way.
Okay.
But Bob Marshall runs the front of the house, as I was, you know, does the Skagit River Raceway and also Creekside Speedway in Stanwood. We have Tim Evans, who is the current president of NORA. I think Nick has got us slated to interview him. We have Sean Wheeler, who is a sponsored RC racer from Ogden, Utah. He is one of the top racers in the country and travels to tracks all over the place. He will be there.
He's coming to Burlington?
Yeah, he's going to be there Sunday. We have Carson Goodman, who's our local, kind of our Trey Starks of the RC world in the off-road. So you have the dirt oval and you have the off-road, like the jumps and stuff. Yeah, so he's a longtime friend of Eric, who it's a memorial race for Eric Zimmerman. So, yeah. And then we have, is it Dick? Is it Reed? I think it's, yeah, I can't even read my own handwriting.
No comment there.
Give me a break. Anyway, so we have all kinds of interviews set up. We have access all over the place. The social media person is even excited to see us there, which is like, yeah. I'm excited to cover it. I'm excited to partner with my buddy Nick, get to work with him to do this. Plus, guess what I get to do?
Jimmy gets to put on a driver's suit.
Zip, zip. Zip, zip. I'm wearing one, too. I'm going to see if I can borrow Robbie's for the race.
You can borrow Adam's.
I want Robbie's. It's all highlighter.
Adam's is pink.
You know, it is a fringe benefit to do this, being able to drive. But I'm telling you right now, I am excited to cover this part of racing, just like I'm just as excited to cover Skagit Quarter Midgets, just like I'm as excited to cover Deming Speedway. I love the fact when there is a information vacuum and there is nobody trying to attempt to fill that vacuum and that void. And I love to see what we can end up doing. They're going to regret it, I think. And I say that I'm playing a little bit, but I'm going to be at races. I am going to cover what happens on the track. I'm going to interview drivers and teams like I do every other track I go to. Sometimes the information isn't the best. We talked about fighting at Deming. I'm sure there's a few people that might not be happy with us talking about it, but I think it's racing that needs to be covered, and I'm excited to break through that ceiling, and especially to start at the Eric Zimmerman Memorial Race, because once again, we have somebody that was passed away that was awesome in the community, and there's a race to celebrate this young person, or this person. So, but I'm excited.
Well,
so.
and they race throughout the winter in Stanwood, and a lot of the drivers from the other tracks that drive actual micros, midgets, sprint cars.
Yeah, there's crossover. Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing that's surprising. I'm going to see it firsthand, but when you have an RC sprint car and you change the wing position, it affects how that car drives, just like in the big cars. You change the air pressure on those tires. That changes. But you also have to look. This might be the most competitive driving that we're going to encounter. Because when you look at lap times of these drivers, they're only a second or two apart. And I'm talking, that would be the equivalent of all the 600 opens to be within the same pack fighting for position. That would be incredible racing to watch. And if you're a fan of dirt track racing, I think this is going to be a huge thing, and I'm excited to cover it. It makes us busy, but there are race car drivers there that deserve just as much recognition and coverage as any 410 driver, any Deming driver, any quarter midget driver. So, yeah, they're going to regret it because they're going to see my mug a lot, and I'm going to be asking all kinds of weird questions, but...
So, are you practicing to do this?
What does that mean?
Like, is your iReady going to help you?
Eye-hand coordination, yeah, I think so. Nobody's iReady racing me yet.
Or
so.
iRacing. I want to say iReady because that's the program we use at school.
Well, I just said it too.
I know.
You made me frick it up, but yeah.
iRacing.
Yeah, I haven't got the chance to let my freak flag fly on my computer yet because...
It's been a little busy.
But right now I'm going through my private pilot's license right now, so...
You switched to flying planes?
I don't switch. I do it all.
Oh, okay.
I am a man about to... By the way, I need RC racing stickers. So you don't realize how big it is. You know how many they have trailers for RC cars there. Like, it's legit. And I've known about the Skagit, the Skagit River Raceway for quite a while. I mean, it's been in existence for quite a while. And then when you start to what the frick was that?
That was
dude?
a yawn.
When you start to deep dive into it, I mean, I showed you what a pit stop looks like. It's some serious... You're going to lose a freaking finger. I don't think Trey Stark's team. I don't think Toby. By the way, shout out to Toby Knutson. I got to catch up with Toby at the Skagit Speedway race. I haven't seen Toby since high school. We got to meet up, did our handshake bro hug. Toby's one of my favorite folks. One of the few in my younger days that are still around and kicking. Shout out to Pizza Hut on Riverside Drive, Green Boat. Yeah, all that good stuff. But, yeah, so we will be covering that race and then more to come from the Nora group at Skagit River Raceway and Creekside Speedway in Stanwood. So that is our episode for tonight. That is 17. We got through 17.
Yep.
So
15, 16, 17.
Yep.
It's a busy weekend.
It is. Shortest episode we've done to date. Done before 11:15. It's 11:11. So anyway, we appreciate everybody. We've had a lot of great comments and stuff this weekend. Deming, Skagit Quarter Midgets have been great. We appreciate it. Keep it coming. It helps us get through the rougher times when people are supportive. So, because sometimes you can get kicked in the gut a little bit, and it's nice to, have that encouragement. So, anyway, when you see us at a track, please come up and say hi to us. Why?
Because we want to get to know our fans.
Because we believe that every lap has a story and every fan has a seat with us. So we will see everybody at Deming Speedway on Friday and Quarter Midgets on Saturday.
Thanks so much for watching our latest creation from the stands PNW. So you're probably wondering who's responsible for creating this podcast. Well, that would be Jimmy and Stacy. Who is the guy in front of the microphone all the time? Well, that would be Jimmy. Who's producing our episodes? Well, that will be Jimmy and Stacy. Who am I talking to on the social media side and who's creating all that wonderful social media? Well, that would be Stacy. A special thanks goes out to Top Shelf Galaxy Productions, and of course, a special shout out to Ice by Stacy Media for all the great graphics and animations. So please like and subscribe and turn on your notifications so you know when our latest hits the airwaves. You can find us across all social media platforms at From the Stands PNW. Once again, thank you so much for watching.